I love my job, and I'm going to show you why. My name is Ken Roach. I'm a registered massage therapist, and I want to start to share my knowledge, share what I do, why I do it, how to do it, and hopefully other people will like it too, and we'll all start to feel, look, and be better. I self-care myself. I have to take care of my tools. I want to bring my chin straight back, rotating it down until the two fingers make more of one line. It's just wall presses. Push back against the wall, the back of your hands, helps the mechanics of the shoulders, we'll talk about in a minute. And push for 6 seconds. Every 15, 20 degrees for isometric contractions. I would put my hand right in that fossa and let the arm come backwards and relax. Push and pull. You're going to be pushing towards this way to elongate and strip it as it comes through there. General principles to help guide tissue growth and healing include active range of motion, gentle stretch, and gentle contraction of appropriate muscles. The trick is to know what to do, where to do it, and most importantly, why. And that's where I'm hoping that I might be able to help you. Now we're going to talk more regionally about self-care and repair for the neck, the shoulders, the arm and hand, the mid-back, low back, hips, knees, and feet. So let's get started. Hi, and thank you for coming. Welcome to another episode of ABCs for SCAR. This one we're going to be talking about the shoulder specifically, as requested by one of my clients who asked me for pictures for some exercises. Being totally blind, I don't really like to hand out pictures. I think they're very simple, and sometimes they don't get across the right idea, and I'm afraid that they may not be exactly what I would recommend. ABCs for SCAR. This, of course, is the building blocks to grow, maintain, develop, rehabilitate soft tissue, all through tension, just gentle tension, whether it's a contractive type tension or a stretch type tension. It's as simple as that. Of course, we should know the mechanics of the shoulder. We're dealing with 3 primary joints. We've got the collarbone or clavicle. We've got the sternoclavicular joint, the acromioclavicular joint, where it attaches to the acromion process of the shoulder blade, the scapula, and then of course the ball and socket, the glenohumeral joint. Primarily, I see a lot of people that don't use the entire shoulder complex. When they go forward, the hand goes forward, the hand goes back, the hand goes up, but the shoulder blade never moves. They're just using one joint and all 4 rotator cuff muscles, but not using any of the big bones, big muscles. So we want to get started by lifting the shoulder blades up, down, forward, and back. You can do some circles, backwards, forwards. The idea is to get used to using the shoulder blade. When the arm goes forward, the shoulder goes forward. When the arm comes back, the shoulder comes back. And especially when the arm goes up, the shoulder goes up. If you reach to shoulder height, thumb up would be better. Palm up is good, but never palm down. Thumb up or palm up. As you start going over shoulder height, make sure the shoulder starts to rise up a little bit. There's impingement of one of the rotator cuff muscles in between the shoulder blade and the arm, a rock and hard place. So if you move both the rock and the hard place, there's no impingement. That's why we have the external rotation of the arm as it goes up. So once it's shoulder height, it's important to lift it just a little bit. Once you go to 45 degrees, your shoulder blade halfway up, your shoulder blade should be halfway up. And once you go all the way up, your shoulder blade should be all the way up. And that's going to help to alleviate any impingement, rotator cuff impingement, leading to strains of the supraspinatus tendon. It's a suitcase muscle. One of the tests that the orthopedic surgeons do, that physiotherapists do, massage therapists do, is this empty can. You'll see that my hand's turned down, elbows pointing outwards or laterally. The shoulder is turned internally rotated to empty this can. So if this is one of the tests we do and you lift it vertically up, add a little bit of tension, resistance, If there's impingement up there, you're going to feel some discomfort. Now, if I reach things up into the cupboard with my palm down, this is similar to this empty can. If I brush my teeth with my arms out like this, or drink orange juice with my arm out like this is how we start repetitive strain injuries. By putting ourselves into that empty can position with a little bit of resistance, and then not using the shoulder blade, compressing that muscle between the rock and the hard plays, and starting to have abrasive friction of muscle, tendon over bone. Not just one potential injury. Another potential injury is a frozen shoulder, where for whatever reason, after injury, surgery, or just unknown reasons, the soft tissue underneath the joint capsule start to contract and get shorter and shorter. You start to lose external rotation, you lose abduction, you lose flexion, and eventually it's all adhered to the side. Adhesive capsulitis is the professional term for that, and we have to slowly start to open it up. Regardless of what condition you have, gentle stretch, gentle contraction, starting with better mechanics is going to be very important. We need to have internal rotation to expect to have this lower Apley's orthopedic test. We need to have external rotation before we can expect to have this upper Apley's orthopedic assessment test. We can work on that standing, rotating your thumb backwards, pinky forwards. It's more important what happens from the elbow to the shoulder than the wrist to the elbow. And we can go work on the external rotation. You can do this 5 times, you can do this 55 times. Now we're going to go palm forward, thumb backwards, pinky forward, and reverse. Remember, if you want to work on the rotator cuff, it's important to work on the rotation, back and forth. Hold it for a couple of seconds, or you can hold it for 6 or 8 seconds, or you can just hold it for half a second, but as long as you go back and add some tension to it. That's lower range rotation, internal, external. We can also bring your hands on your hips and gently push into your hips for 6 or 8 seconds. Notice this adds about 70 degrees range of motion, abduction at the shoulder and the ribs. And then if you take both hands, as if you're hitchhiking, just come straight up and make this W. We're going to see this in postural exercises as well. Then come back down here, same thing, 6 or 8 seconds, or 1 second. But if you've got some discomfort, better to hold it a little bit longer. Add tension, positive influence along the lines of healing, lines of force, lines of rehabilitation, lines of growth. So that's going to be lower range as well, gently pushing down. And again, you can do this 1 or 2 times. Ideally, you do this a little bit all day, every day. As we go a little bit higher, now we're going to be making an X. From above, it's going to look like an X. We can work on palm up, again, working on the rotator. So palm up is going to have the thumb going towards the floor, pinky going towards the ceiling. Really work on getting this elbow in, externally rotating the shoulder, and then as you come back and away from your midline, the palm is going up again. We're going to be putting the thumb up, pinky down. Really work on that rotation, because you're working on the rotator cuff. You need to work on rotation. Again, in front, palm up, pinky up, thumb down, elbow in for that external rotation, and the exact opposite, going out the other way, palm up, thumb up, pinky down. Again, just add a degree of tension. That is one line of the X. The other line of the X is going to be from up and away from me, and I'm going to go palm up, and I'm going to have pinky up, thumb going down, externally rotate at the arm. As I come here, it's going to internally rotate. So now I want to get into my midline, but away from my back, and palm up, thumb up, pinky down, and work on that back and forth. If you get the shoulder height, better idea to lift the shoulder just a little bit, and back and forth again and again. Now, you can take exercise bands, common exercise for physiotherapists, on a door frame here or a door here. Be careful when you do this, because if you tie it to this door and it comes flying open this way, better to be on the other side of that door, so that when you pull the elastic bands, it's going to be causing the door to be further closed and never have an opportunity to open. So just by a band from the door to my hand, working on the internal rotation, it's going to get some resistance as it goes back this way, back and forth, slowly. Also, if you went the other way, turning around, now it's going to be going the opposite. It's going to be going outwards. So if I went this way, I'm going to be pulling away. So now I'm going to be working on those external rotators. back and forth with the elastic bands. Now, that's only one specific range of motion. Under the said principle, specific adaptation to imposed demand, it's important that you work on every range of motion, every angle. So if you had bands down low, like knee height, and you went from this hip position 70 degrees of abduction up into that half W or one part of the W, same thing if you had bands that were up along this line here. If you could attach them somewhere high and then come down along that 70 degrees, you can also use dumbbells supporting yourself with the other hand. You can bring a dumbbell up and in, up and out with that external rotation with the thumb going out like that as well. All of these are possibilities. There is no definite one way of doing things. Again, ABCs for scars, the building blocks is applied biomechanical concepts. These are concepts. It's biomechanics, the way the joints need to work, and they mean very little until you actually apply them. Other ways to do this, if you come up, as you bring your thumb up or palm up, as you lift up, your shoulder rises a little bit more until you're half shoulder up, until you want to reach as high as you can, and now the shoulder blade should be as high as it possibly can. So we can do shoulder circles backwards, and then elbows touch, like it's protraction of the shoulder blades. As you come up, shoulder blades lift a little bit, shoulder blades really high, shoulder blades back, shoulder blades down. Squeeze as you go, back and forth. Same thing the other way, starting with the shoulder circles, going forwards. As you come back, squeeze the back of the rhomboids, inferior trapezius. Then bring your shoulder blades up. As you come up, now the palms are forward or up. Come all the way up, shoulder blades need to start rise as you go over your shoulder height. At 45 degrees or halfway up, shoulder blades should be halfway up. When you come all the way up, shoulder blades should be all the way up. And as you go all the way around, make sure you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Use big bones, big joints, and this sternoclavicular joint here at the sternum or breastbone and at the collarbone, that should be the apex of the motion, not out here. Again, don't get used to moving your arm without moving your shoulder blade. With a blank wall behind you or laying on your back, we can do snow angels. We could push against the wall 6 seconds at every 15 or 20 degrees because they're isometric contractions, and just gently push back. Again, think shoulder blades, elbows, hands. And as we go up, the back of our hands are going to be touching. Once we get to about 45 degrees, we have to switch over and use the thumb and the fingers straight over. And you can touch and push in for 6 seconds, or just touch the wall and come all the way down with gentle resistance. You can go down, you can go up. You can do this 2 times, 22 times, really doesn't matter. You can also turn around. If you have a door frame, you can do this up over top of the door frame. Reach around the side here as you come up, breathe in. That helps to elevate the ribs, extend the spine to get more expansion in the rib cage. Tuck your chin back would be helpful as well, breathing in, right up to the top, and then around. So it's the same thing as what we're going to be doing with the snow angels. You can go up and down, whatever you want to do. Working on the rotator cuff, I do a lot of that kind of stuff. In general, practical application, simple things. When I'm in the shower, I lift the shoulder blade up, I turn my hand right around, get that external rotation, and then just to wash up into the axillary, the armpit. And then when I'm scrubbing, I want to reach way up there, reach way up, shoulder blade really high. Scrub there, all sorts of things. I've got other videos. I was sanding down this wall here, and there's a video on applied mechanics on how to do sanding and such like that. So this is just one idea, but you need to start working on stretch and contractions. There's lots of ways to go about doing that. I guess we should add one stretch to this. Because supraspinatus goes right down the seam of your shirt, it's the suitcase muscle lifts this up, or it's a laptop case. To stretch that, bring your hand behind your back and then pull across here. Ideally stretches about 30 seconds. In this case, we're not trying to make longer, we're just trying to make tougher. Again, I could hold on to something like a doorknob. I can grab onto the doorknob with this hand. Again, it would be better on the other side to not open that door. But if I could brace that, possibly with my foot, and then just get my body to come across here, just add a little bit of tension to that supraspinatus, the one of the 4 rotator cuff, and 30-second stretch. So you're going to be doing 30-second stretches, 6 to 8 second contractions of anything all the time. If you push out, You can put your hand on your elbow and just push outwards. It does the first 10 or 15 degrees of abduction before bigger deltoid muscles pull and have a more mechanical advantage. So I can lean against the wall, whether it's my hand or my elbow. I can lean against the wall here. I can push against that for 6 or 8 seconds. I can put my hand against anything and resist for 6 or 8 seconds. I could have a rope, a towel. I could have anything here and just gently try to separate my elbows apart and contract that for 6 or 8 seconds. Going out like this, lifting shoulder blades up, whether it was weights. Now if you're going to have your palms down, it's okay until you come up to chest height, but don't go past shoulder height without your thumbs up, palms up. There's many ways of doing this. Even putting your hands in your pockets and then pushing your hands out like that. Any sort of tension that you can have across the top of the shoulder blade or where it's tender or sore. If you go to pull your arms apart, if this is another orthopedic test we do, is push your hand out like this and resist against a therapist. That's for the external rotators. If that bothers you, even just simple grabbing your fingers like this and resist. Let one hand win. Let the other hand win. That's about all the time I'm going to have for today, but check out more of these ABCs for SCAR, and thanks for joining me. Ken Roach, massage therapist, online at your service. Thanks for checking out this infomercial for KenRoachRMT.com. At first you might think it's all about me and the things that I've done, but it's actually about all my experiences as I became the best massage therapist that I could be for all who choose to hire me. And I'm hoping to help you and the people that you know as well in time. I'm not interested in sales, I'm only interested in service. And for now, I'm starting my educational process, but long before I ever started preaching, I started practicing. I've been doing martial arts on and off since I was 13 years old. Kung Fu, Jiu-Jitsu, just recently got my black belt in Shotokan Karate, but it's never been about the destination. It's always been about the journey. Mine's been a long, sometimes difficult one as I've been losing my sight my whole life, but I've had quite a few successes, and it's been a lot of fun. They say the proof is in the pictures, and here's mine. At 28 years old, after becoming a massage therapist and certified personal trainer twice, I entered a competition where I gained 24 pounds of lean muscle and reduced my body fat to 8.38% in just 12 weeks. Unfortunately, I didn't win that competition, but I did get a pretty good tan. Another thing that I did, most exciting, most dangerous things I've ever done, is downhill skiing and downhill ski racing, totally blind.
And turn! Stand and turn! Stand and
Didn't do as well as I wanted to there either, but I did learn a lot. Learned a lot about me, learned a lot about you, how our bodies work, how they don't work, how they can work better, but we work on them. Now that I'm done, I'm a little bored and want to share my knowledge. I love teaching, doing public speaking as much as I can. They're not just principles to get better by, these are principles to live better by. I just started doing some stand-up comedy in the past little while.
This is tough, man. I remember my first time on stage. I was terrified. Couldn't stop thinking, I'm gonna fall off. And I did.
I have a lot of fun with that. Now I want to expand my internet presence and my ability to help other people feel, look, and be their best, or at least better. By all means, please pass this around to friends and family. Sign up to get a regular blog. Ask me questions so this can be more about you. I'd be absolutely thrilled if I can help you figure out something that you've been working on for a long time. I don't care what you do, I can help you. My name is Ken Roach, I'm a registered massage therapist, and you're on KenRoachRMT.com.
I had a great time with this event. We do a lot of health fairs. I'm really interested in corporate and other private type events. If you're interested, please give me a call. Find my email address, kenroach@rogers.com, kenroachrmt@rogers.com, or take a look and check us out on kenroachrmt.com. Thanks for having me. It's a little bit of traction, make you a little bit taller, take a lot of the stress of the world off your back. And we are clear.
Don't stop clapping. Don't stop clapping. It's rude. Yeah, there we go. Where'd everybody go? In all seriousness, life is short, guys. Do everything you can. Thanks for coming out. As a massage therapist, I would encourage you, when everybody tells you to take care of yourselves, take it seriously. Get and stay fit. It matters. 40 years old, and I got the body of a 28-year-old. She's $150 an hour, but it's well worth it. My name is Ken Roach. I'm blind, but I hope to see you guys next time. If you want to see me, you can see me at kenroachrmt.com.